Hey guys, it's Katie at scrapandkatie.ctmh.com, and I am joining the creative design team to bring you creative ways to use flip-flaps. Now, close to my heart has various styles of flip-flaps, so we are going to try to show you different ways to use them. I have pulled out the Summer Vibes card kit. Now, this is brand new. It debuted on July 1st, and it will be available through the end of August 2020 or until supplies last. So this card kit comes with a fully color illustrated guide that includes your cutting diagrams to make a total of 16 cards. That's 4 each of 4 designs. And then it also shows you those adorable card designs. So in this card kit, you will get 16 card bases and 16 envelopes in order to make your cards. And then you will also get some embellishments. This particular card kit comes with these white acrylic hearts. And then it also comes with a stamp set and thin cut that is exclusive to this card kit. Now, the thin cuts can be used in any die cut machine. And then you'll also get several pieces of cardstock and pattern papers to make your cards. So off camera, I have gone ahead and I've made the card designs as intended. Now these are standard size cards. You'll see that one here, and then I've also cut an extra card, and those are the ones that I will be using our flip-flaps on. And I've got several different ways to use flip-flaps, so make sure you stay around to the end of the video. I've also pulled several packages of our flip-flaps and then pulled different sizes. Now, our flip-flaps not only come in different sizes, but you can also get flip-flaps on the short side and the long side, which makes it very versatile, and you're able to use those that best suit your photos, or in this case, your card needs. So for this particular card, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to assemble this little 3x4 piece by adhering that white daisy onto that smoothie cardstock. And then you'll see that slips directly into that flip flap. Now, when you are inserting in things into the flip flap, you want to make sure that you have the adhesive right side up, because that flap actually turns over and adheres to the card front. Now, what I did while I was talking was I made this a note card. So I just cut that card base in half along the score line. And then the only opening to this card will be this flap. So I'm just going to peel off that adhesive backing to this 3x4 flip flap. And again, you see that this flap, the adhesive is on the short side. And I'm just going to center that as best I can onto that card front, and then make sure that it's really secure. And this tape is really sticky, so once you put it down, it's really not moving. So you want to make sure that it is in a place that you want it. And so behind that flip flap, I definitely want a white border, and that's where I'm going to write my sentiment. So I've just pulled that other piece of the card base, and I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now I will leave these measurements down below in case you want to purchase this adorable Summer Vibes card kit and make some on your own. So you see here, I'm just adhering that down to my card base, and you see that it kind of gives it a white matte. Now, these cute little watermelons have some 3D foam adhesive on the back of them, and I just adhered them directly on the top of my flip flap. I did notice that my that focal piece wasn't exactly centered, so I'm just trimming off some of that card base to make sure that it is. So there are the 2 card designs. So for my next card design, I am going to pull this one with the cute snow cones on it. So again, this is also going to be a note card type style. So I'm going to cut that card base in half along the score line. And then I'm going to start assembling the card much like it is on the regular card that you see there. So you can see here, I'm going to use that 3x4 flip flap that has the flap along the long side. And I was just kind of measuring things up, making sure where I wanted to put it before I start adhering everything down. So now these card pieces that you see here that are already pre-cut, those were cut per the card instructions that came with the card kit. And I love how easy it is just to cut those and get those in piles, and then it makes for fast assembly on these cards. So I just pulled that backing off of that flap, and I'm just going to adhere that down to the card front. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of these little colored strips. So this is the peach cardstock using the light, and then we've got nectarine, a little bitty tiny strip, and then this sorbet piece is actually inked up with the confetti stamp from the stamp set that comes with the card kit. And then these snow cones, I'm just going to use some of our thin 3D foam adhesive and just put on the back of those snow cones, and then I'm going to adhere those directly to the top of this flip flap. Now I am going to start with that center cone, and that way I can make sure that they're centered across the card. I will kind of play with that center one just to make sure that they're equal distance from each other and then from the right and the left side. So the sentiment says always, all you need is love and sprinkles. And I've got that adhered to my card base, not the flip flap itself. Otherwise it wouldn't open. So for the inside of the card, I am going to pull the July 2020 stamp of the month. Now I like to cut my images apart so I can get different colors. So I just cut that image apart. I inked up sending in black, my love in sorbet, and then there's these little tiny hearts on each side of sending. So for my third pattern, I've gone ahead and I've adhered. This is a note card style again. And then I'm going to show you what to do with this cute little 2x2 flip flap. So I've pulled my rose gold sequins and then a couple of those acrylic hearts from that package that comes with the card kit. So this is going to not only be a flap, but it's also going to be a shaker. And so I'm just putting a few of those rose gold sequins in there along with those acrylic hearts. I am going to pull a third acrylic heart simply because the rule of threes. And then I'm just going to insert that into this cute little 2x2 pocket. Now the thing to remember with these pockets, they make excellent shakers. But you don't want to overfill them because you do want them to actually shake, you know, when they shake the card as well as when they flip it open. You want those sequins to move around. So to seal up the flap or the flip flap as a pocket, I am using some very strong tape adhesive. You can use anything just as long as it's really strong. Regular Tombow adhesive probably would not hold it down shut. I know there's some red score tape out there. Anything that you can find that's really strong adhesive to make sure that those sequins don't start falling out. So I'm going to peel off the backing to this little flip flap now that it is secure. And then I like to hold that flap closed for a better word, but to really make it the 2x2, and then I adhere it down onto my card base. And you can see how it flips open. And then I'm going to start adhering this focal piece. And I'm just going to center that under that 2x2 flap as well as on the card base. So for that cute little ice cream cone that I've already stamped and pre-colored with our watercolor pencils, and then I used our clear shimmer brush to kind of make those pencils more watercolory. I'm just adding thin 3D foam tape, much like I did the snow cones, and adhered that directly to that flip flap shaker pocket. So for our fourth and final design, it's probably one of my favorites. This is going to be an actual card. So I've left that card base intact. I'm going to glue that cute little pattern paper. It's got flip-flops and watermelons and sunglasses and suns, and it even says chill and summer and just fun pattern paper. So for this triangle, I'm only doing adhesive on the edges because it's actually going to be a pocket for our flip flap. And then I'm going to go ahead and decorate that little triangle much like the design that you see at the left. So we've got Stay Cool that was cut with the thin cuts and then inked up in black. And then these cute little popsicles. Now there are 3 of them. You notice that I did not put adhesive on the top of that popsicle, so that will be kept a pocket. And then these popsicles were also colored with our watercolor pencils and our shimmer brush. And I'll link all of these products down below so you can go grab them. Now, the stamp of the month that I used, all the products that I used for this card qualify you for that $50 purchase that can get that stamp of the month for only $5. And I'll leave that linked down below as well. So here's where those flip-flaps come into play on this card. Now, these are name badges that I made for convention, and they're made with our flip-flaps and then the sequins, and then I just decorated a 3x4 piece of cardstock and pattern paper to go inside. So I'm going to do the same. Now, this is going to be a happy birthday card. So I'm just going to pull some peach cardstock and then that wave pattern paper. I'm cutting that peach cardstock to 3x4. And then this wave pattern is going to be 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And again, I'll leave all these measurements down below. And then I need a white daisy piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to pull one of those card bases that I cut off and did not use. And I'm going to cut it down to 2x3. So now I am going to adhere that down and then pull another one of the stamp sets that has become one of my favorites. It's a happy birthday stamp set. And again, the purchase of this card kit, that stamp set, and the shimmer brush will all qualify you for the stamp of the month for July. So I'm going to glue that down and then pull out that happy birthday stamp set. Now that stamp set, the proper name is called Celebrating You. And it's just got a whole bunch of happy birthday wishes, stars, candles, everything like that. On this peach cardstock, I did decide to pull out the little sprinkles image from the card kit stamp set and just ink that up in sorbet and stamp that all around the edge of that peach cardstock. So here is that Celebrating You stamp set. I'm going to use that very scripty happy birthday. I'm going to put that on my block and then just pull out my regular black ink and then ink that up really well and then just stamp that in the center of this 3x4 card. I love how scripty that is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that into my 3x4. Now I want to make sure that that tape is up, facing up. And then I'm going to take my rose gold sequins and just scoop some in there. Again, less is more in this case. And then to make this a closed shaker, I'm going to take my micro tip scissors. Now these are the non-stick, and I'm just going to cut those edges at an angle. And that'll make it really easy for me to peel that backing off and then tuck on the inside. Now you want to make sure that you tuck it on the other side of that cardstock. And then make sure your fingers don't stick to it. And then you just close it up and it becomes a shaker and it inserts into that card. You can finish off the inside, or you can even do some sort of gift card or anything in the back of that shaker. And then if it has a QR code or a scan bar, they should be able to just hold that up to the window and the people should be able to just scan that gift card. So here is another look at all the variations that I did with this cute Summer Vibes card kit using our flip-flaps. Now I would love to give some flip-flaps away. So if you will like this video, comment, and make sure you're a subscriber, I will do a drawing at the end of this month for a package of flip-flaps so you can make your own cards, or you can put them on layouts. Now, don't forget to go visit Andrea's blog, and I'll leave that link down below.